So,
One thing I know, the spiritual part is
mhm,
probably going to confuse people. If we can
yeah,
just, yeah, because people think when you talk about spiritual, they're going to think about religious spirituality. They're going to think about, as you said, the shaman and things like that. Can you just clearly, or briefly explain what that is for them? I mean, I know we've talked about giving them the wings back, meaning they give them their soul, their true essence, right? But again, you need to understand what that is. But for most people, they think that's kind of like a little bit off.
you're good. You are good. Yeah. Uh, so we talked about the head, heart, and the soul. Your body, your spine is the antenna that leads you back to, however you want to refer to the higher self, God, universe, supreme source, whatever it is. And that's how I talk with people is what makes you comfortable talking about God. Some people that term is nails on the chalkboard. Other people, it's Jesus. Other people, it's Muhammad, whatever. And it doesn't matter. It's just so what I'm doing is realigning the head, the heart, and the soul to reconnect to your higher self. And that's really what I'm talking about with the spiritual aspect is dealing with that and realigning someone. Just, as you said, we live through life and we veer off our path a little bit and you just nudge them back. And well, but the
Well,
beauty is, and the art of it is you get them to realize it, that they want to get back on the path. You don't force them back on the path. And that's what a lot of people are doing with the spiritual aspects. And you can't, in my opinion, you can't do that because it really disrupts them. So you just give them a little nudge and you let them turn on the lights to the next light pole down on the path. So it's just reconnecting them to their essence, as you said, put it so perfectly.
well,
Yeah.
in essence, in essence, you do not really go into the religion or their beliefs are their beliefs. This is more about just tapping into their belief, basically. Whatever your system is, you're just enhancing their experience within.
Yeah.
Am I getting that picture right? It's whatever your belief is.
Whatever you believe, it doesn't matter at all. I will tell people because it makes me feel more comfortable that I got this information of VOILA from my mom after she passed away. And I go, oh, my mom helped me download this information. Well, I say mom, but what's the reality? It's God. Um, and then it comes down to what is your definition of God, right? And some people will say universe, but my mind thinks in multiverse,
Authority,
right?
yeah, I mean, again, but the reason I asked that question because we have obviously as a worldwide audience, we have hundreds of belief systems. I mean, we have three major ones that were a few major ones, but we have a lot of fractions and different deviations of of,
Yeah.
of the belief system. And everybody's got a way and it's very taboo. When we talk in religion, people get very sensitive. So what you're doing is really just, working with them to get in touch and aligned with whatever their current belief system is. You're not telling people switch your religion. You're not moving them. You're not a
Yeah.
missionary on a mission to convert
Yeah.
people. So I just wanted to get people clear about that so they don't think like,
Oh,
again, you are.
I love that you did that, and it's such a great point. That again, I'm going to give kudos to you. You're so good at what you do. Is like I come from it to the point where I love learning about their belief, their religion, right? And it's excitement. Like, oh, I really don't know too much about this. What can you share with me to help me understand? And I go, oh, he really wants to understand what I'm doing, so that they feel like they're being heard, and they are being heard. But then I can, take their words and their language and use that to bring them back onto their essence, their path. So yeah, it doesn't matter what anyone believes in. Like I even said earlier, I may not even speak your language, but we can still work. Yeah.
All right, we got that straight because someone's like, well, you might have your own beliefs. So people think that, Joel is trying to push his belief into me, and therefore they will put that nice barricade. But if
Yeah.
it's not that, there's a physical, obviously the benefit is going to be physical primarily because you're going to feel no pain and so on and so forth. But it helps to be aligned with your higher, being or your higher authority. And that's always a good thing, right? I mean, I think I do believe that anyone with some sort of a belief system is going to have a better personality and better being because you elevate yourself. So again, this
Yeah.
was just for me to try to get clarification for our audiences, but
Perfect.
certainly I love it. I mean, the mental piece is big. And by the way, the mental piece it touches on the spiritual piece because a lot of the spiritual has to do with the mental, and it's both one and the same almost.
Yeah. So, that's one thing that I want to clarify is everybody thinks, or, some people might think that physical, emotional, spiritual, and they're separate. No, they're all intertwined. It's just like our DNA. You cannot separate one from the other. You can't. So that's why the VOILA method is all encompassing in its work. And that's why I can't just talk about the physical aspect. I can't just talk about the emotional aspect. I can't just talk about the spiritual aspect. It's all the same. It's all one.